takes it in overtime. Brady can chop, breakaway shoots, scores!
Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brandon and I am your host. Tonight, Ottawa took on the Tampa Bay Lightning in a game in which the Senators are looking to squash a 2-game losing streak. Last game against Florida, inexcusable loss from beginning to end, completely outmatched, inexcusable, embarrassing, frankly. So they need a big rebound win tonight against Tampa Bay. But before we get into the game recap, a couple things. Firstly, just got to give a shout out to Shane Pinto, the Rookie of the Month. Got the honors, of course, from the National Hockey League as they awarded him the Rookie of the Month honors. He has 6 goals and 7 points in 8 games before tonight's game against Tampa Bay. An incredible start for Shane Pinto. He's off and running right now for the Calder Trophy. He's certainly the front runner in my opinion. And now on the second line with DeBrincat and Giroux, Shane Pinto is set up for some success this season. I'm so excited to watch him play. So shout out once again to Shane Pinto. What an incredible start for the Senators rookie. Now, some big news on the franchise front. The Senators today have retained a group to explore a potential sale of the franchise. Now, of course, if you're a Sens fan, you know this is not surprising news. Anna and Olivia Melnick inherited the team, of course, from late owner Eugene Melnick, but they're both under the age of 25. You're asking a lot from, 2 young adults to run an NHL franchise. So it's not surprising, of course, that the Senators are exploring a sale of the team. But I'll say this right now. One thing, the Melnick family will be a part of the team moving forward. I have no doubt in my mind that when the team, decides to sell to a potential ownership group or owner, or whatever you want to call it, I have no doubt in my mind that the Melnick sisters will be retaining a minority stake of the team, as they should. So that will definitely be a thing for sure. I would bet a lot of money on the Melnick sisters and the Melnick family still being a part of this franchise moving forward, just in a minority capacity. But I want to say this right now. I've seen a lot of speculation, a lot of discourse on Twitter about this. Mark my words, okay? Mark my words. The Senators are not relocating. Mark my words. The Senators are not relocating. It's absolutely absurd that this is even a conversation to begin with. It's so stupid. And I'll say this. I'm not going to bring up Arizona. I saw a lot of discourse about that. The only reason Arizona is still in Arizona is because they have a potential arena being built in Tempe, and their TV viewership is huge. I mean, they have such a big market there for, TV contracts and stuff. So those are 2 reasons right there. Ottawa, unfortunately, doesn't have the TV market demographics because they're squashed between Toronto and Montreal. But they have the arena. Within the next year, we should have confirmation on that too. With the NCC and the Senators, hopefully within the year, signing a lease to officially get LeBreton Flats underway there, in LeBreton Flats to get the shovels in the ground. There's really no chance the Senators relocate. End of story. I'd bet a lot of money on the Senators not relocating anytime soon, and I think it's absurd, the notion that the Senators are going to relocate. I mean, yeah, attendance doesn't look great, but within the year, if, and or even I'd say when, the Senators and the NCC sign a lease, just put those rumors and stupidity to bed for good, because there's no chance this team moves. It's pretty disrespectful, frankly, to the Senator fan base to even suggest such a move. It just doesn't make much sense. And, you have a lot of markets down south struggling, and no one's calling for them to move, but you're going to call the team in the nation's capital to move. So it doesn't really make much sense. It's not going to happen. So if you're a Sens fan, you saw the news today about the team potentially getting sold. Do not worry. Mark my words once again. The team is not relocating. Brandon Plant, November 1st, 2022. Mark my words. Now let's get into the game recap. So some pre-game notes. Firstly, Tampa Bay, Victor Hedman out of the lineup. Big loss for Tampa Bay. Hedman, obviously, is one of the best defensemen in the National Hockey League. Big break for Ottawa. Undisclosed injury. Hopefully he'll be okay, however, but he is out for Tampa Bay. And for Ottawa, good amount of moves. Firstly, Shane Pinto moved to the second line, like I already mentioned, which means Kastelik is moved to the third line, and Dylan Gambrell makes his season debut on the fourth line, which means Derek Brassard is scratched for today's game. And as well, Eric Brandstrom gets a shot with Thomas Chabot, so that should be fun to watch. So let's get to the first period. And just like against Minnesota, and just like against Florida, it's unbelievable. I mean, with this offensive core that we have, there's no excuse for these sloppy, slow, non-inspiring starts that the Senators have had. That's definitely on the coaching. I'm sorry. I'm not on the DJ Smith, fire DJ Smith train. I don't want to fire the coach just yet. But there's no excuse for this. I mean, this is 3 games in a row where the Senators have had the same exact sloppy start that they've never been able to recover from throughout the rest of the game. Terrible start. But luckily here, and you'll see later on in the game why I'm like this, but early on, even though the Sanders were playing like trash, to be honest with you, it didn't matter. Dylan Gambrell, lucky bounce. Bellemare turns over the puck. Gambrell puts it home. 1-0 Sanders. Dylan Gambrell, his first shot, his first shift, his first game, his first goal. 1-0 Sanders for Dylan Gambrell. But after 20 minutes of play, Tampa Bay is up in the shots quite a bit. Ottawa is getting dominated. They only had 4 shots on net in the first period of play. 1 goal though, but 4 shots on net. There's no excuse. I'm sorry, there's no excuse. Guess what? Against Minnesota, we started off sloppy, couldn't recover, lost. Guess what? Saturday, Florida, started off sloppy, couldn't recover, lost. Spoiler alert, started off sloppy tonight against Tampa Bay, could not recover, lost. Guess what? We go to the second period of play, 3 minutes in. Questionable penalty does not matter. Frankly, I'll say this right now. Yeah, the refs were brutal tonight. It was one of the worst officiated games I've seen in my life. But the refs, I'm not going to make the refs a scapegoat. We played terribly. We did not deserve to win. We did not play good enough or well enough to win this game. End of story. I'm not going to make the refs a scapegoat. Even if this is one of the worst officiated games I might have ever seen in my life. And I'm not a guy that always wants to blame the ref, but the Sanders lost this game due to poor play and poor play only. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear any of that about the refs. We lost this game because we did not play good enough. End of story. But the questionable penalty leads to a goal. Sergachev from the point unloads a shot on the power play, 1-1 game. And then a few minutes later, this is where the buffoonery, frankly, from the refs started. Just unbelievable call here on Dylan Gambrell. Gets a match penalty. His seasoned debut is cut short real quick. Gets the match penalty, so that's a 5-minute penalty kill for Ottawa right there. Gambrell is out of the game. Tampa, literally a minute later, would get another power play. 5-on-3 extended. 5-on-3 power play. The Sanders miraculously killed it off, though. I cannot believe it. Definitely one of the better moments of Ottawa's season so far. The penalty kill, I mentioned it in our interview with Wayne Scanlon, which, by the way, you should check it out if you haven't already. But in that interview, I mentioned the Sanders penalty kill has been terrible. Ranked bottom 10 in the league. Tonight, that really changed. I'm telling you, really changed. That penalty kill was very impressive, especially early on in the second period on that 5-on-3. But look at your screen right now. I'm sorry. How the hell is this a penalty on Jake Sanderson off of Ross Colton? I don't understand it. It's just one example of the very, very many examples of some questionable calls tonight from the refs. Even DJ Smith called out the refs post-game, saying that there were some rough calls for sure. But guess what? They kill it off miraculously. And guess what? Not only did they kill it off, they scored shorthanded. Matthew Joseph against his former team on the breakaway. Blocker side. 2-1 Sanders. I can't believe it. 12 minutes in, Matthew Joseph shorthanded on the 5-on-3 penalty kill. Gets the goal, and the Sanders get the lead right back. It's a 2-1 lead for the Sanders. Matthew Joseph in his first game back against his former team. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. Not only did they kill off an extended 5-on-3, they got a shorthanded goal while doing so. Unbelievable. You know what else is unbelievable? With a minute left in the second period of play, I'm going to see this in my nightmares, and I'm sure Drake Batherson will too. Alex DeBrincat and Batherson are on a 2-on-0. Okay, 2-on-0. Look at your screen right now. DeBrincat slides the puck over to Batherson. The net is wide open, and the puck is stopped somehow. Vasilevsky gets his pad on it, and Batherson... You need to lift the puck there. You have to. That is a goal where, especially in a loss like we had tonight, that is a goal where you just got to put the puck in the back of the net there. I mean, especially against one of the best goaltenders in the league or in the world, like Vasilevsky. 2-0, last minute of the second period. Could be a back-breaking goal for Tampa Bay. Lift the puck up. It's inexcusable there. And this is what the game really has been for Ottawa. Just a bunch of inexcusable mistakes leading to inexcusable losses, like what happened in this game. And, like what happened in that game against Minnesota and the game against Florida, they started off terribly, and then they started to kind of put on a comeback, But like I said, they couldn't recover in those games. They couldn't recover in this one. And especially against Minnesota and against Florida, we imploded in the last 10 to 11 minutes of the third period. Guess what happened tonight? Same exact thing. Killorn picks up the rebound after a great Forsberg stop, 2-2 game. No one picked up Killorn trailing through the slot, and suddenly Tampa Bay ties it. It's 2-2. And honestly, I expected that. The shots were like 25-10 in favor of Tampa Bay at the time. It was certainly coming, and you know what? It did not look good. But a minute later, Ottawa, and this has been a crazy game because Ottawa does not even deserve to be in it, but they are, and they take the lead right back. Brady Tkachuk, the captain, does great work from behind the net, finds Claude Giroux, and he scores his second of the season for Claude Giroux, and the Senators take the lead right back. It's 3-2. What a great play by the captain behind the net to strip Vasilevsky off the puck and feed Giroux for the empty net goal. 3-2 Senators. Everything looks good, right? It looks like the Senators are going to avoid an implosion. They stopped, an embarrassing loss. Sunshine and rainbows. Everything is great. Senators are going to win. Oh, but wait. Of course, 2 minutes later, Braden Point sneaks right through the middle. Thomas Chabot, you got to get on your man here. Gets completely beat to the net there, and it's a 3-3 game. Once again, Forsberg, what do you want him to do there? I mean, Point's so fast, such a quick shot. 3-3 game, and then 2 minutes left in the game. Of course, the Senators give up yet another goal. Kucherov slams the one-timer in past Forsberg. The Tampa Bay Lightning take the 4-3 lead. And once again, I'm not blaming the refs for the loss, okay? I'm not going to blame the refs for the loss. At the end of the day, we didn't play well. That's why we lost, okay? Just want to say that. That being said, the officiating tonight was so lopsided. The penalties were 8-2 in favor of Tampa Bay. The Senators were tripped twice in the last 2 minutes. Twice! Okay, Brady Tkachuk, 30 seconds before that Kucherov goal, was tripped, okay? He was tripped right here and right here. Right here. Not even 10 feet away from Brady Tkachuk was an official. He was tripped, no call. 30 seconds later, Tampa goes into our own end and puts the puck into the back of our net. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And once again, I'm not going to blame the refs, but poor officiating absolutely has an effect on the game, no doubt. Now, once again, should Ottawa have won this game? No! But did they have a chance to win this game? Yes, and officiating nulled that chance. No doubt about it. So, I don't understand how some of those calls were called in Ottawa, but that blatant trip on Tkachuk in the last couple of minutes, right in front of the ref, was not called. Unbelievable. And speaking of Tkachuk, I can't believe this happened. With a second left in the game, Stamkos left him all alone. He just missed at the last second, top shelf. Tampa Bay wins this one 4-3. Ottawa has lost 3 games in a row and has fallen to 4-5-0 on the season. It's a tough loss in a game where Ottawa did not deserve to win. It's 3 games in a row now where Ottawa started off sloppy, attempted to come back midway through, and then imploded in the last 10 minutes of the third period of play. I'm not on the fire DJ Smith train, but this is absolutely on coaching. These systems don't work. We've seen these mistakes happen all of last season, all of the season prior, and things need to change. I'm sorry. Things need to change. The Atlantic Division, the Eastern Conference, is way too tough to be losing games like this in these type of fashions. Just a terrible loss, inexcusable loss, and a poor effort loss. When you have a forward core this good, you shouldn't be putting on less than 20 shots on net the last 3 games. There's no excuse, okay? No excuse. And more importantly, the back end is terrible. I mean, Tom Chabot, I love the guy. You got to be better. I'm sorry. You just got to be better. I mean, those 2 last goals were kind of on you, to be honest with you. He has just not looked like himself, and that's because of the fact we're overstretching him. I mean, he has to play 25 to 30 minutes a game. It's not his fault. He's tired. He's fatigued, and Ottawa needs to not only extend Artem Zub in the back end, but bring in another defenseman too. So a lot of work to do in the back end, a lot of work to do with the systems. Just no excuses. We just need to see results now, and Pierre Dorion has done everything he can, really, in terms of forwards anyways, to put the best product on the ice. I mean, you could talk about the defense and the goals we gave up, but they only put on 15 to 20 shots the last 3 games per game. There's really no excuse. That's on the coaching systems, I guess. That's on the players. That's not on Pierre Dorion. He assembled a solid forward core. That should be holding puck possession too. Now, the one issue with puck possession, I would say, is the defense. They're scrambling a lot back there. Zaitsev, Holden, these guys are not playing the greatest. We need another defenseman back there, whether that's a call-up like a Lassie Thompson or JBD. Don't really care. If the Senators want to be competitive this season, they need another top 4 defenseman. It's just not working right now. By the way, just adding on to what I said about Tom Chabot, about him getting a lot of minutes, give Jake Sanderson the minutes. He's ready. Feed Jake Sanderson. This kid can eat up the minutes, no doubt. He's so solid in his two-way game. Give Jake Sanderson the minutes. He's easily, in my opinion, the best defenseman on this team right now. So yeah, those are my notes, frankly. I mean, just another inexcusable loss. And, Tom Chabot needs to be better. The defense as a whole needs to be better. Forsberg, again, played well. No big rebounds. Kept the Senators in this one. And the forward core, I mean, just, you got to perform. I'm sorry. I mean, Batherson, you got to put that puck in the back of the net. And the core as a whole, stop and I guess it's on the coach for this, but stop dumping the puck in. Let's have some sustained zone entries in the offensive zone. Let's get some cycles going. It's just dump and chase, dump and chase, dump and chase. No more. You got guys that are some of the best puck possession guys in the National Hockey League on this team. Use them. Use them. It's unbelievable. So besides that, Senators lose 4-3. I'm going to be done rambling now. It's already going to be like a 15, 16-minute video. It's going to be a lot of fun editing this one. But I had to get my true thoughts out there because I think, once you're like 8 to 10 games into the season, you kind of understand where you're going to be, what you're going to get from this team, and how you can improve. And now it's time to demand results because you can easily slip out of the playoff race. I know it's only November, but in this tough Atlantic and Eastern Conference, it's that easy to just slip out. I mean, Buffalo, Detroit, even Montreal is winning games. I mean, you got to start winning games. So, tough loss for Ottawa. Let's see if they can rebound on Thursday against the Vegas Golden Knights. So, thank you all for watching. I'll see you on Thursday night. We'll get through it, guys. Do not panic just yet. But on Thursday, we need to see a rebound game. We can't see the same old from the last 3 games. Change needs to happen. Let's see if it comes on Thursday. I'll see you then. Go Sens, go.